and with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Jesus said to the crowds, "The kingdom of heaven is like a drag net cast into the sea that brings a haul of all kinds. When it is full, the fishermen haul it ashore. Then sitting down, they collect the good ones in a basket and throw away those that are no use. This is how it will be at the end of time. The angels will appear and separate the wicked from the just to throw them into the blazing furnace, where there will be weeping and grinding of teeth. Have you understood all this?" They said, "Yes." And he said to them, "Well then, every scribe who becomes a disciple of the kingdom of heaven is like a householder who brings out his storeroom things both new and old." When Jesus had finished these parables, he left the district. Singing padodo ne de. Sra henze ne tsede eboa wotu egupu. Oboma namahro yina bi. Na oyeman otwe ba mpoano na wotena fom boboa papan ano go breathing. Na woto za omman bi. Wiaze ewieye imbre obeyene. Abofo baba abapanyi papon efi atene ne fom. Na wato abonen egujafuno no. Ho na wobosu na waatwa ho no se. Hom atse nyina ase. Obo ne de inyo. Ose ho ne de demanti. Embretrafo biara obeya so ahenze no ho suafo. Se de ofiwura otwe enzama fofor ni dadaw ifi na kradze mu kwei. Na Jesus wie ebeyibun ofi hokoro. Kwaje sompane rezami sin na hina sompa.
Nsempaye aye yinkan o Christ.
Dearly beloved, today I would like to reflect with you on the first reading, taken from Isaiah chapter 6, verse 1, Isaiah chapter 18, verse 1 to 6. Friends, we are presented with a story of God asking Jeremiah to go to the potter's house. 1. The Lord asked Jeremiah to go to the potter's house. He did not give him a message. He did not tell him anything, but he only asked him to go and observe. When we too as Christians are called, God only sends us at times to go and observe. It's what we see, what we experience, that comes with the message. When Jeremiah was going, he went without having any message. He was only asked to go to the potter's house. It was there that he was going to receive his message. So Jeremiah was asked, sent by God to the potter's house to learn. It was in the house that he was going to learn. He was not sent there to go and give sermon or homily or something extraordinary, but he was sent there to go and learn. Friends, when we come to church or when God sends us, he sends us also to go and learn. And that is when you come to church, you need to pay attention. Jeremiah was supposed to pay attention to what was going on in the house of the potter. And by paying attention, we get the message we learn. Secondly, Jeremiah had to observe. It was in the observation that he will receive the message, as I've spoken about. Then, when Jeremiah had gone, friends, it was then that he received the message. And the message that I want to talk about for today is a clay in the hands of a potter. Friends, you are a clay. I am a clay in the hand of a potter. Who is this potter? God. When Jeremiah had gone to the house of the potter, he received 2 messages. One, that God is the overall power, has the overall power to form. When he went, what he saw was the fact that the potter was forming something out of a clay. So God has the overall power to form. Then the second message is that God has the overall power to fashion. When Jeremiah went there and he saw the man, the potter, working, he realized that at a point in time, the clay, which was meant for something, turned out not to be working. Probably because it was too stiff, or there was a stone in it. Just like ourselves, God wants to use that for something else, and because at times we become so stubborn or out of sin, we do not come out as the Lord wants. When it happens like that, the Lord or the potter had to fashion out something else. And this is what the Lord said to Jeremiah. Can't I do with you as this potter? Have I not an absolute power over you in respect, both of might and of right? So the Lord says that he has power. The power to form, the power to fashion, the power to turn into something else what he desires. Tell your friend that the Lord has power to fashion you. And that is what the Lord does. Whenever we come closer to him, he fashions us into the image, the likeness of his own image, of himself. Now, in Hosea 4 verse 10, the Lord had once said that he spoke to his prophet in similar ways. The Lord only gives us a message at times. Plain, he gives them to us. At times he sends us to go and find out the message. At times he leaves us to figure out whatever he wants to say. And today for Jeremiah, he had to be in the house of the potter. Not because he did not know there, not because he did not know what the potter does, but rather to give him a fresh memory and the message for him to preach to his people. And because the Lord has control over us, 2 things that I want to ask to remember. That God's power is for him to fashion out a kingdom, gives them power for his own use. Then he has the same power to overthrow. If a nation decides not to be faithful to him, he overthrows them. Beloved, whenever we come before God, he fashions us. And he has the same power to take out what he has given us for another reason. Beloved, in Job chapter 4 verse 23, Job says that the Lord increases the nations and destroys them. He enlarges the nations and strengthens them again. So God has power to increase and to decrease. And that is the image that we receive in the first reading. You, a believer, a Christian, you are the image and likeness of what God wants. God has decided to make you who you are for a purpose. God has decided to make you who you are for a reason. Second thing I want you to understand is that a clay does not decide what he wants the potter to do with it. A clay cannot say that, okay, you made a pot out of me, I don't want it. I want to be a brick or a block. It's the potter who decides what to do with the clay. Beloved, when we come before God, it's God who decides what to do with us. Whether to make us instruments for something else or not. But one thing that is sure, and we often see, is that out of pride, out of arrogance, out of whatever reason, at times we want to tell the potter that we are not happy with what he has made us. And that is why often we see a lot of Christians complaining about their state, about their status in life. We see a lot of priests, seminarians, Christians complaining where they are, forgetting that we are in the hands of God. Forgetting that we are in the hand of our Maker. As a clay does not complain. However, whatever the clay is used for, it serves that purpose. Friends, I just want to encourage you that remember that you are a clay in the hand of your Maker. God being the potter wants to use you something beneficial for others. God knows that if you become a catechist, you will serve more purposefully. God knows that if you become a priest, you will serve more purposefully. God knows that if you become a teacher, you will serve more purposefully. God knows that if you become a nurse, you serve more purposefully. And that is why he has made you who you are. Let us accept it. Work as who we are to improve the condition of our own souls, our families, and to improve the condition of our communities. And so before anything, in the Yankopona Sima Bahanan channel, but Padam Yucha Bibi, if a Jeremiah, it's to do our treaty to my Zikisi is here. Zayan Kupon in the Orca chain there, or Sma Jeremiah, the uncle on your phone, Nifi. And yet the Jeremiah only one for the fee, and now only Azar, where you know, them Osman, the uncle, that uncle slavery. I be never been Yankop one in channel. I be Yankop one friend of Osman, or spread a young uncle slavery. I brought Jeremiah, uncle on your funny fee, or when the on your phone, or the Dassi, or the Roman has it. Now show the baby, and that was the same. I don't put one and angry ye was the same. That was the you will rather listen. I bring the rather for those in the human. No, with the baby, or the other part of one the rather was the same. I brought Jeremiah could do. Why you on you for the fee, the one in your book was a catcher and then the room to me young, then break on you free, or the other woman say. Or the people trust me, I really will say, from here, dear, okay. That simply to make country your honor any day, as I is a million men. That singing to make country on your funny day, as I is a mind, main one job. Oh, to bring here, young couples, you bring with this baby, you complain, you see, young pet, if I didn't see the wine I'm a shuffle, no, I am a cactus. If I didn't see no one am a sick, no, I am a yen. If I didn't see no one am a police from a mouth, no, I'm a cayaness. Young who point the baby on the water, a quote you to my human. Imano about us. Yes, sir, Rosie. The one man. Yea, I mean, sick when it's some. Also, yes, I get an anchor supply. Only and Martin, I'm a year to me, a drink and another. Near what about us, as I'm a Yazino. Let us pray to God that He make good use of us. Whatever that we are in a sense, that He will form us so that we will be useful for the work that He entrusted to us. May He continue to bless and keep us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.